Hi everybody and welcome to my latest YouTube video. Thank you for joining me and taking the time out of your busy day to watch this video and enjoy it with me. This is a sort of a follow-up to a video I did last week where I managed to get an album that I'd been after for years and years and years, and I got it for a good price. And I did say there's only one album by this band that I've got to get now, but I didn't think I'd ever get it as a UK first pressing. But lo and behold, I have. It's an album by The Move, and this one is actually quite hard to get, and it's called Shazam. And this is a UK first pressing. It's on Regal Zonophone, and the serial number is SLRZ1012. Very, very hard to get. By the time that this LP was released in 1970, Trevor Burton and Chris Ace Cafford had actually left the band, so the lineup on this is slightly different to the lineup on the Move's debut album. So this is Carl Wayne, Roy Wood, Bev Bevan on drums, and Rick Price on bass. It's strange to think that 2 years passed between the release of the first album and this album. Like I say, The Move very, very early on became classed as a singles band, and when you think of how many singles they released, there's some brilliant singles albums. You know, it's one of those things that by the time this was released, like I say, in 1970, this is a very, very different album compared to the debut from 1968. It's a more rockier album, sort of like a forerunner to heavy metal in some ways. On some of the songs, you can actually tell the direction that was slightly going towards forming ELO, i.e. there's cellos and stuff on a few of these songs. Some of the songs are cover versions, and some of the songs are actually very, very psychedelic. Like I say, so for this album, it was Carl Wayne, Jeff Lynne, Rick Price and Bev Bevan, and just after this album was released, I think Carl Wayne actually left. There's only 6 songs on it, believe it or not. There's only 6 songs on it. So I'm looking on a site. It just says this was released on the 27th of February 1970, and it was actually recorded in a Division Sound Studios, London. It's classed as progressive rock according to this. It's got a length of 39 minutes and 13 seconds, and it's on the Regal Zonophone label. It was also released in America on A&M, sorry. So that is the front cover. Not the most inspiring cover, is it, to be honest, but it is nice. And the track listing is Hello Susie. Now, although that was written by Roy Wood, it was actually given to, I think it was Eamon Corner or something like that, they had a hit with it. It got very high in the charts. It might have even got to #1, but this is more like a heavy rock version of it. Absolutely wonderful. Then you've got Beautiful Daughter, which is probably one of the highlights for me of this album. Again, that you could see where there was going. There's cellos and stuff on that, and it does sound a little bit like ELO. Carl Wayne sings that, I think he sings it. Let me just check. Yeah, although it was written by Roy Wood, it is Carl Wayne, and his voice suits that absolutely fantastic. Very, very overlooked. I'm not sure if it was a single or not. If it wasn't a single, it should have been a single, let's put it like that. And then track 3 is Cherry Blossom Clinic Revisited, which isn't actually a follow-up to the Cherry Blossom Clinic on the first album. It's like a reworking of it, and again, this is more of a heavy sort of version of it. Very, very psychedelic in places, and at the end there's like bits of, it's a bit like a medley of songs that was out of copyright, so they couldn't get wrong with it. Only like an instrumental bit, like tucked on at the end. Side 3 is all cover versions. Starts off with Fields of People. That's Carl Wayne. I think Carl Wayne sings lead on all these, apart from the last thing on my mind, which is Carl Wayne, Roy Wood and Rick Price. So you've got Fields of People. Again, that is a very psychedelic track, but you could imagine it being performed as a cabaret act as well. Don't Make My Baby Blue. I had to listen to this 3 times. It's an absolutely wonderful track. Very heavy in parts, but for some reason Carl Wayne sounds like Steve Marriott on this. I actually thought it was Steve Marriott singing it. You could imagine Steve Marriott singing it, and the way Carl sings this, it is absolutely wonderful. Really is wonderful. And like I say, I don't think the Small Faces ever did a version of it, but like I say, it really does sound like Steve Marriott, and I did have to like listen. I've listened to it 3 times. And then the last song is The Last Thing on My Mind. Again, it's a cover version, and that song reminds me of the Hollies because of the 3-way harmonies. It very, very reminiscent of the Hollies. So that is the back cover. Like I say, it's not a very, very long album, 30 odd minutes. Like I say, that's Carl Wayne, who left just after this was released. Roy Wood, that's Rick Price, and then that is Bevan. So yes, you could, on a few of these songs you can see like the beginnings of ELO, i.e. cellos and orchestras and stuff like that. Like I said, I don't think there was actually any singles off this, although Hello Susie was a single, but not for The Move. It was produced by Roy Wood, Carl Wayne, Rick Price, and like I say, it's on Regal Zonophone, which is, I think this is the last album they did for Regal Zonophone. Then there was on Harvest, no, but Flybug, Fly, and then they went on to Harvest. So I'm just looking at this, Black Bow Curly. No, so there wasn't, technically there wasn't. For some reason I thought Beautiful Daughter was a single, but according to this it's not. So we'll have a look at the record. Again, this is one of those finds where I bought it, I've played it 3 times now, and then cleaned it, Cardinal Sin again. But in all honesty, it doesn't need cleaning. It's an amazing condition, this is. So that is side 1. Nice, lovely, shiny record. Side 2. Again, really, really excellent condition. I was surprised to get this so quick after getting the other one, which was, just bear with 1 sec. This one. And I'm very, very sorry if you got a view of my big fat arse then, but hey ho. So I got this one last week, which was the debut, again on Regal Zonophone. Very, very hard to get. And I did say at the end of that video that I was after this one, Shazam, but I didn't think I'd ever get an original copy of it. £35 I paid for that one. What did Beatle Dave pay for this one? Shazam. A little bit more. It was only a little bit more. I think it was £5 more. I think this was £40. Which, don't get me wrong, to some people that is a lot of money, and to me it is a lot of money, but for something that I've wanted for years and years and years, and I saw it and it wanted to buy it now, so I did have to bid, and there was quite a few bidders on it, but I won in the end. I think for something that I've wanted for years and years and years, it was worth it. Like I say, it's an original UK first pressing. Very, very hard to get. It was reissued a few times on Fly and things like that, but to get the original Regal Zonophone version is very, very hard. and in anything like condition like this, it's virtually impossible. Like I say, it's another one of my holy grails in one way. I've got all of the original Move LPs now. All 4 original Move LPs are UK first pressings. Like I say, on this album though, this is I know that the lineup is slightly different on this to the first album, but it's a completely different sounding album. On the first album, on the debut album, although there was experimenting, it was more of a like poppy sort of record, where on this it is more of a, I'd class it as heavy rock or even progressive rock in places, bit of psychedelia on it and things like that. Between that being released and this being released is basically 1.5 to 2 years. But in that time they did actually do a couple of singles. They did Curly, Blackberry Way, which was that's on that one, isn't it? Blackberry Way. No, Flowers and yeah, Blackberry Way. Wild Tiger Woman, Blackberry Way, and I'm not sure. I think Curly was 69, but I could be wrong. But there was a EP released called Something Else by The Move. Although classed on it, it says on here that it's a live album, but it's not. It was an EP that was recorded at the Marquee Club in 1968. And again, it was only 5 songs, and looking at it, they were all cover versions. It was So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star, Stephanie Knows Who, that was originally by Arthur Lee. The first song, So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star, was originally by the Byrds. Something Else, of course, that was originally by Eddie Cochran. I'll Be Me, that was originally a Jerry Lee Lewis song. I've never heard of that one. And then Sunshine Help Me, which was originally by Spooky Tooth. So it's not like they didn't do anything in between the albums. It's just that I seem to think somewhere that they added some extra tracks on that and actually did make it into an album at one point, but after the Move had split up. But that's going off the topic a bit. So yeah, so what's it worth? What is this worth? Like I say, I paid £40. So I hope my missus isn't listening there. She's all right. She's okay. She does her thing, I do my thing. As long as we pay the bills, she's not one of these that nags me and things like that. Been on the internet this morning. The cheapest one I could find was £125. The most expensive one I could find was £350. So at £40, I think I've got a bargain there. It's a fantastic record. Even if you don't like The Move, but you like ELO, you should actually get this one, because it does sound a lot like ELO in places. When this record was released, I think, or being recorded, The Move were going through a bit of a turbulent time. They didn't know whether they wanted to carry on as The Move or, split up or whatever. Carl Wayne wanted to go more to like the cabaret sort of chicken in the basket sort of thing, because they've got a new manager and he was booking The Move into places like that where you would go and get chicken in the basket and they would be like the band at the end of the night sort of thing. Roy Wood didn't really want to do that. So there's a little bit of tension there. And like I say, just after this LP was released, Carl Wayne did sadly leave The Move. And I don't think The Move was ever the same again after that. They brought Jeff Lynne in, and yes, they still made a couple of albums, and they did some brilliant singles like Brontosaurus and Tonight and Chinatown and things like that were really, really good. But I think the heart of The Move, in one way, went out when Carl Wayne left. But Jeff Lynne didn't really join him to be in The Move, did he? He joined him because he wanted to be in the Electric Light Orchestra, which was originally just going to be a side project. There was going to be the two working in conjunction. I don't know how true it is, but there was a rumour that after the last Move LP and the first ELO LP coming out, Carl Wayne actually went to see Roy Wood, and he says, well, can I carry on as the Move? And for some reason, Roy Wood wouldn't let him. And I think he was going to try and get the other two members back in the band, Trevor Burton and Ace, and continue as the Move. And he even said, if you want to write the songs for us, I'm quite prepared for you to write the songs. You know, you can write the songs for both of them. But for some reason, Roy Wood just wouldn't do it. Wouldn't let him do it. They didn't fall out as such. I mean, there is a clip on YouTube all about Roy Wood, and near the end of it, it's all set around Birmingham, and he actually goes into a music shop where they used to buy the guitars and stuff when they first started out, and he's actually in there with Carl Wayne, and they're like best buddies. It's just a shame. I think the Move could have carried on, but then, you know, we wouldn't have had ELO. So it's a bittersweet thing in one way. But like I say, once Carl left the Move, I think the Move was more a vehicle then for Roy Wood and Jeff Lynne to get ELO off the ground. And I think, if I remember rightly, the two albums that came after this, they had to do as the Move for contractual reasons. But yeah, like I say, brilliant. So them two albums there basically cost me less than £100. Yeah, way under £100, aren't they? About 80 quid, I think, for them two. Which, yes, I know is a lot of money for two LPs, but you try and get both of them original UK first pressings, pardon me, off the internet, off a record. You go in a record shop, you'll be paying £125 easy for that, and for that, if not more. So I think I've done very, very well. I don't want to sound big-headed and things like that. It's just, I know it's Beatle Dave and it's a Beatles channel, but we do things on other artists as well. And because I love the Move, I just wanted to share this with you. Like I say, I was playing this morning and I couldn't believe how amazing or fabulous it sounded. The only song I'd ever heard of here before was Beautiful Daughter, believe it or not, and I think that's on a cheapo compilation from this early 1970s. Hello Suze obviously was a big hit, but not for these, although Roy Wood did write it. And like I say, the last thing on my mind sounds a lot like the Hollies, and Don't Make My Baby Blue. You could imagine Steve Marriott singing it. I can't recommend this LP highly enough. It's a marvellous LP. To have them two together is absolutely fantastic. It really is. It's one of the joys of being a record collector. You know, it's like these two LPs. I've wanted these for years and years and years, and every time I've seen them on the internet, they've been hundreds of pounds each. I've been to record fairs, and again, the cheapest I've ever seen, that one, I think, was £100. And the cheapest I ever saw that one was over £100. Yes, I could have gone and got a reissue for a fraction of the price, but I'm getting to the stage now where if it's a band I really, really love, like The Move, I want to try and get the original albums. And now I have got the 4 original Move albums, all UK first pressings, all very, very rare, that all, you know, basically valued at over £100 each. Will I ever sell them? No. Never, ever, ever in a million years will I sell them, because it's took me so long to get them. Right, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I haven't gone on too much. I'm just that excited that, you know, I've now got the 4 original Move LPs, although technically there's a different lineup on virtually every LP. Slightly different lineup. Like I say, that was the last one to feature Carl Wayne, and you know, it's sad that they didn't carry on. Although I think he did do something with ELO, didn't he? Was it ELO 2 or something? The second ELO album. I think he did some backing vocals. If I remember right now, I could be wrong, or I might have just dreamt that. I don't know, but I seem to remember reading somewhere that he did do some backing vocals, or was going to do some backing vocals or something on an ELO LP, an early ELO LP. So that's going to be it for today. As always, thank you everybody for watching my video. Thank you for everybody that is subscribing. Leave them comments, and if you've liked this video, do me a favour and just, you know, leave me the thumbs up, because that does help with the things with YouTube, and it helps to promote this channel a bit more, and the more people we get to like it, the more things we can do. You know, just remember, I love you lot out there. You are the beat in Beatle Dave, and that's it. That's what I'm going to say. So until the next time, love, peace and happiness to you all, and ta-ra for now, my ducks.